my name is Danny Chino. Welcome to another episode of Danny from the Soul, episode 17. Yay! Yeah, you weren't expecting me to be this hype, were you? It's been about 3 weeks since I've done the podcast. I've been missing it. Sorry, I couldn't do it last week when I was supposed to because I was busy moving. But this is the first piece of content that I am creating in my new house. If you haven't seen my new house, please go to YouTube and search the latest live stream where I assemble or struggle to assemble IKEA furniture for 4 hours until like 3 a.m. in the morning. And it's just absolutely nuts. But yeah, I've been assembling a shitload of IKEA furniture. More on that later. So that's why I've been, busy and I couldn't record the podcast. I'm very sorry, guys. But don't worry, I'm gonna record another podcast later this week or perhaps early next week to make up for it. So don't worry, you're not missing out. But anyways, just straight on to the news. The intro song that I played on the very front was Stray Kids Elevator because Korea is just hell right now. It's just we cannot live here. Like, don't come here, please. Like, this country, I don't know what's happening, but it's just fucked. So just kick things off, we have fine dust levels. We're gonna talk about fine dust again. I know I talked about this on DK News as well as a previous podcast, but fine dust is at like it's just crazy right now. It's just at crazy levels right now. Just to give you the context, from 2019, from February 20th, 2019, this year, to March 6th, every single day, the fine dust levels were at the level of bad, which is like 75 micrograms per cubic meter. And that's pretty bad. Like, if you go out on a day that's 75, it's like you can see like, you can't see pretty far down because like the dust is just covering up everything. And on some of those days, it reached levels like 200, 250, which is insane. It's just insane. You can't see like across the street. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, this is just, it's like fog. It feels like fog. And it's insane because like every single day for like the past 2 weeks was like this. And today right now it's like 10 a.m. On March 11th. And I'm looking out the window and it's still like it. Yeah, I can't see the buildings on the other side of the river, which on a clear day I would be able to. And today it is the fine dust level is 73, which is considered moderate, but 73 is actually pretty high actually. In Japan they consider 35 micrograms per cubic meter and up to be bad fine dust levels, but in Korea it's like 75. So 73 is pretty high, and I can't see the other side of the river. But anyway, yeah, so that happened. And also, they exercised emergency measures. The Korean government exercised emergency measures for fine dust, which include restricting car usage and also operation of factories, because the fine dust levels were too high and they were like panicking. So they exercised these measures for the past 2 months. They put that to use 14 times, and we were getting these emergency texts about these emergency measures like all the time. And to put that into context, in 2018, the emergency measures were exercised just 8 times. Throughout the entire year, it was just 8 times. And the past 2 months, it's been exercised 14 times. Isn't that just crazy? Like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm not being sensitive. Like, I'm like a pretty insensitive guy to this shit. But now it's just like my eyes are hurting, like they're watering and shit, and I can't go out without a mask. I'm just like having trouble breathing. And the scientists say high temperatures in Korea, like this year, the average temperature for February was abnormally high. So that's causing a abnormal amount of fine dust to be accumulated in this Korean peninsula. I don't know how the science works, but apparently we've created this vortex of fine dust in this area. So just don't come here, please. So, and I guess like some of you might not know about fine dust. So I've actually done a little bit of research, fine dust, it's less than 10 micrograms in diameter. That's what we define fine dust as. So it's much smaller than just regular dust particles. And it's actually much smaller than hair. It's finer than hair. So the problem with the fine dust is that this dust gets deep in our systems due to its small size. It's very easy to absorb in our systems. And even more menacing is that they carry dangerous chemicals from factories and, car exhausts and etc. that accumulate in the body. So yeah, it's just like really horrible all around. And these chemicals include a lot of things that are known to cause cancer. So you're basically breathing in cancer when you when you go outside and breathe in air right now in Korea. And according to a research published on the medical paper The Lancet in 2015, about 20,000 Koreans are expected to die early every single year due to fine dust. So, yeah, it's just a big problem, and what's causing it is David thinks it's China. And, China is a big problem, I will say, because the winds in Korea, we have prevailing winds from the west, coming from the west of Korea all year long. And China, which is on the western side of Korea, is rapidly industrializing their country. Like they're growing super fast, right? And they are building more and more and more factories and, garbage incineration plants, etc. Things that cause pollution and give out a lot of dangerous chemicals into the air. And the problem is like these cities and these industrial areas are very, very heavily focused and concentrated on the eastern parts of China, which is on the west side of Korea, and it's very close because the east coast of China, I guess, it has the harbor, so maybe that's why. So like a lot of the shit that gets sent into air from those factories in the eastern Chinese cities we're breathing in Korea. And actually, like when they did like a New Year's fireworks show in Beijing, Korea's chemical levels in the air grew by like 10 times. The toxic chemicals like radon, is that how you pronounce it? And stuff like that grew by 10 times when they did it. Like 20 hours later, it all came to Korea, and like for a short while that happened. So stuff like that like shows some sort of evidence that a lot of this is from China. But it is still hard to pinpoint the causes, despite David being so sure that 99% of it comes from China. It actually doesn't come from China. So it's hard to pinpoint the causes because there's a lot of changing conditions throughout the year inside South Korea. So Korea is a very tricky spot to like, just even measure, do weather forecast. It's a very tricky spot because like there's a lot of different external factors that can go into this area, like we're geographically like doomed or something. And to pinpoint the cause of fine dust, it's very difficult. So to give an example, on January of this year, the National Institute of Environmental Research, that's like environmental group organization that's run by the government in Korea. They conducted a study and found that 69 to 82% of the fine dust came from outside of Korea, external sources, like, for example, China. So that was conducted on January. That was on a study that was conducted on January of this year. However, when they conducted the exact same research in November of 2018, that's a few months ago, they said 18 to 45% came from outside of Korea. So those are vastly different numbers. And when your research, the results of your research vary on that level of a scale, then it's very difficult to find it credible enough to present it to other people. So like currently, part of the reason why the government isn't doing much to talk about this issue with China is that I think they want hard evidence that's very scientifically proven, and that's something that's credible to the entire international, audience, so that they can just go straight to the facts and say, yo, I got this received, so why don't you, take some responsibility over it? Because if they just, half-ass it, and if they just tell China without like providing some sort of factual evidence, all China is gonna do is just like say, how do you know? Like, you guys caused it too, and we can't do anything about that. Like, if we don't have the facts, we're a fucking small country, and we're like nothing compared to China in terms of power. So like if they just say like fuck you, it's not my problem, or we're not the ones doing it, like give us the hard facts, then it's very hard to rebut that. So I think what the Korean government is trying to do right now is trying to gather some evidence that's like really difficult to rebut, so that China will be able to change. But anyway, just right now it's a really, really bad time to come to Korea, I would say. But if you do insist on coming to Korea, or if you're already in Korea, like, one of our ducks in our Patreon chat room, she's in Korea, Jesper. So if you're already in Korea right now, traveling, or you're staying, you have masks. I will suggest you buy some masks, like very, very important. So there are different types of masks. You should check the ratings on the masks. They have numbers, like for example, KF80, KF94, and KF99. The higher the numbers, the more finer dust they filter out. So, get something that's over 80 and you're pretty much safe. Like KF80 is the bare minimum, which you should get. And if a mask says KF80 on the front, on the packaging, then you should get that. Or 94. 99 is a bit overkill. I heard it's really difficult to breathe in that. But I usually wear KF80 and it's good enough for me. Like I don't get headaches from the dust. So buy masks. If you want to know where to buy masks, go to a convenience store. But I would suggest pharmacies because they're usually cheaper. Pharmacies, they're very easy to spot. They're like everywhere in Korea. You're not very, very difficult to find, and they're not like American pharmacies where the pharmacies are super big. They're like all small stores that are all over the place in Seoul. So they're not very difficult to find. You'll come across a few. So go to a pharmacy, buy a KF80 or over rated mask. And I would also suggest you to install an app called Air Visual. Air Visual. Search it up on, the App Store, Google Play Store. And basically this app tells you how much fine dust is in the air, the fine dust levels of that day, real time, as well as some forecasts, so you know how to plan your day. And if it's like anything over, say, 100, 75 is like the level that's considered bad in Korea, but there's a lot of days that are over 75. and if you're waiting for the day to get it below 75, you're gonna be waiting for a while. So if it's anything over like say 100, I would refrain from trying to go out. Anything under that, just wear a mask. And even if it says moderate, still wear a mask, because the moderate levels in Korea are actually pretty high, considered pretty high in Japan. So still wear a mask. Only don't wear a mask when it's good, when it's considered good. That's like below 15 or something, I believe. So yeah, those are some tips. Literally, like, you will know when you see fine dust. So just wear the mask. Please, this is for your health. You're breathing in cancer, man. Like, you might as well be, smoking would probably be better, because like I found research results that say smoking is like, breathing in fine dust is like 20 times more harmful than smoking. So so don't go out without a mask, and please be sure of that. On other news, we have another reason why you shouldn't come to Korea. Internet censorship. That's always fun. So this is a bit of old news. I wanted to make a video, but then I kind of lazied out, but I might still. On February 11th, that's 1 month ago, the Korean government implemented censorship on HTTPS websites and blocked 895 websites containing porn and illegal gambling. Now, government censorship on porn and gambling, that's like not new in Korea. You know, as most of you probably will know, you can't access Pornhub in a regular manner. If like even before this, that you weren't able to access porn websites because they blocked the URL. So like if you look through them, they will say warning, and they will say like, oh, this website has been blocked because it contains, illegal shit. So yeah, previously the government was doing this, like blocking websites, but they were doing it with URLs and DNSs, which allow the users to bypass it by simply adding a HTTPS to the address. So like if the site supported HTTPS, which is like an encrypted version of the website, I guess. Like I may sound completely like an idiot, because I know there are some tech people working in the tech field among the ducks, like Dom and Josh, I believe. So I may sound like a complete idiot, but basically, like in layman's terms, you could bypass the existing censorship on these, porn sites and stuff by using an HTTPS address, by adding the S on the address of your website. And it encrypts the website address, thus making it impossible for the government to find out which URL or DNS address that that the server is trying to access to. Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. The website is trying to access to. So yeah, it basically did not allow them to block sites properly. So they implemented a new censorship technique to help censor these HTTPS connections, these malicious connections, by looking through SNI packets, which are sent to the server from the user and include server names. So the government is essentially trying to stop this process of searching for porn sites from the user end. They are blacklisting these servers so that when the user tries to go to the server, they will be blocked. So previously, just to give you an idea, the government was blocking the websites, meaning that the government, when the user types in the URL, they access the server, which then sends them to the website. So the government was previously blocking these people from accessing these websites by cutting it down from the server to the website level. So when the server sends some sort of packet to the website and communicates, the government blocks it there. This lets, users have a layer of anonymity because it's like you're not tracking the user, you're tracking the server, you're tracking the packets sent from the server. So it's makes it difficult to track who is making that request to search up Pornhub. They don't know. However, with these new methods, the government is basically tracking the user's packets that are sent to the server. So basically, they are cutting it from the user end, and that lets them identify who the exact user is. Like they can exactly identify who's searching up Pornhub right now. Because like if you search Pornhub and you use an HTTPS connection or whatever, then on your computer it sends a packet to the server, and in that packet includes an SNI packet which the government is looking for. And the government looks through all these SNI packets and then sees, oh, you're searching for a server that runs Pornhub. So this server is blacklisted, so you're not allowed on that site. So yeah, that's I hope you guys get what I mean. This is very difficult for me to understand as well, but I've been researching this shit since like 8 a.m. in the morning, looking at how to, go around this and shit like that. So anyway, yeah, that's how it is. So the government is basically monitoring every single packet sent from the user to the servers, checking them if they are being sent to the blacklisted servers, and they are essentially spying on the civilians and the people. Now, the government has come out and said that this is illegal, and they merely notify the internet service providers of the blacklist servers and do not monitor the packets individually. But this is just really worrying for me. Not because I can't watch porn. I mean, you can still use VPNs, but it's just worrying for me because like the precedent has been set now that the government has the ability to monitor every single activity that I do online. Like they are checking every single URL that I put up in the on Google Chrome, and checking if I'm searching Pornhub. So they are essentially monitoring every single internet activity I do, and they have the ability to, track down who I am or what I did on the internet and shit like that. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. Now, their intents are, I still don't think porn should be regulated, but if that's a law, then I guess. But I just find it scary that there's a large group of people that disagree with this and that have filed a petition, tens of thousands of people, but hundreds of thousands of people. But there is also a very large group of people that are on the supporting side of the government right now, and it's very, very worrying. It's very, very worrying that there are people that are supporting the government, basically snooping on the people. And the problem is that a lot of these people, their intent is good. Their intent is good because they want these porn sites that upload revenge porn blocked. I agree with their intent. So it's very difficult to raise this discussion of, hey, don't block HTTPS or don't use this censorship technique, when their counter argument, a lot of them are females, and a lot of the people that support this are people that are victims of revenge porn or, are liable to being the victims of revenge porn, because most revenge porn is uploaded by the men. So yes, the women have a legitimate reason to be worried, and they do have a reason to be wanting having these sites blocked off. But at the same time, there's a legitimate concern here of censorship, and it's very hard to have that discussion because when us men say it, it's like the women say, "Oh, you just want to watch fucking revenge porn," I mean, no, I don't want to watch revenge porn. I just don't want the government censoring, looking through whatever I look through. But it's like there's no discussion available. It's just two different things that we're talking about. And now I think this is like a month in full force, and it's not gonna change anytime soon. So it's very scary right now, honestly. Like I feel like I'm gonna be, you know, I feel like this country is slowly turning into a less and less democratic place. And we're becoming more and more like China. China censors their internet. They have heavy censorship. China has fine dust. We have fine dust too. And this country is becoming a shithole. But still come to Korea. Still come to Korea because we have K-pop and K-dramas. You like that? And palaces. But seriously, man, that is fucked up. Like, I'm just scared. I'm just scared. This is a very dangerous precedent that we're setting here, and it's not changing anytime soon. But please tell me what you think. Does your country censor the internet? As far as I know, the only country that utilizes SNI packet censorship is Turkey. And you know, Turkey's not the most democratically advanced country or free country there is in the world. So let me know if your country censors the internet too, and let me know how you think about this. I personally think they're trying to catch, you know, a small fly with a fucking rocket launcher. They're like, oh, revenge porn. I mean, that is a serious problem, but that's like a very relatively small issue compared to your, like, a small number of people are affected by it compared to, you know, this large number of people, the entire population being affected by government censorship on whatever you're doing on the internet. So yeah, tell me what you think about the situation. I would really like to have a discussion. And yeah, last but not least, let's talk about moving, guys, or why I fucking hate IKEA. So I finally settled down. I am 10 days into the move, and does it usually take this long? Is it normal to take this long? Because I mean, I feel like I took forever to move, but anyways, I am finally done moving, and I am very, very happy, very, very satisfied with my new house. It took a while because I was stupid thinking that I could clean this house by myself. So in Korea, the mover in has to clean. The mover out just leaves her shit, or actually she just takes her shit and leaves. She doesn't clean the house for the next person. So the mover in has to clean. And me thinking I want to save some money, you know, it's like cleaning here it's a small apartment, 24 square meters, and that cost me $150. So that's pretty expensive. So me thinking, hey, I can clean this. So I started cleaning. And the first 3 days, it was a long weekend. It was the holidays. And I just started cleaning then. And then like 3 hours into cleaning, I was like, oh, about to fucking throw up. I was like, okay, fuck, I'm not going to do this by myself. Because it was so disgusting. This place, the previous owner, she left, you know, she had a cat. And I think she was a girl around my age. And like when I was looking through this house, it was disgusting as fuck to begin with. Like when she had all her furniture and I was looking through for houses, because she doesn't tidy up this place. Like she just leaves shit all around. She just left shit all around. And I knew that had to be a red flag. She was like, there's like all these like, you know, cigarette packs all around, all these clothes, and like fucking 3 cats in a 24 square meter room. I knew that was a red flag, but like when she moved out, she left like a fucking ashtray, some dolls, some like dream catchers that are like dusty as fuck, and also she left she left condoms. She left condoms inside the shoe box. I don't know why she would have a condom in the in the entrance of the house, but I guess, if that's where she keeps them. She left condoms too, which I kept because, they're not expired. They don't seem to have any holes in them, so might as well use them, right? But yeah, like shit, like this room was trashed up. There was hair all over, cat hair, long girls hair. And I was just absolutely disgusted and I wanted to throw up. So I was like, okay, fuck, I'm not going to do this. I just wasted 3 hours of my life, but I'm not going to do this. It's just too much. So I just called somebody in and they did it in like 6 hours or something. It took them quite a while, but paid $150 for it, but it was worth it. So I'm happy. They didn't clean the fridge though. That costed extra. So I had to clean it and there was like a shit ton of cat hair there too. Honestly, like I don't even know how the previous person even managed to live in this place. Like how do they manage to live in such a shitty environment? Like dirty environment. But anyway, I cleaned it all up. I developed an OCD while cleaning. Like seriously, I just did not want a single trace of that person because it just disgusted me and made me like gag and want to vomit. So I developed a pretty serious OCD over the past week or so, and now my house is like just so fucking clean. I have never been this clean in my life, but yeah, it is just clean, and now I'm an OCD person. But yeah, and the IKEA furniture took a long time to assemble, as you saw in the 4-hour live stream of me doing the bed. I think the bed was a very bad decision to have the bed be assembled first, because that's like the hardest furniture to assemble. But I jumped right into the deep end because everybody was in the live stream was saying do the bed first. I don't think I should trust the ducks anymore. Like you guys are like fucking up my sleep and shit, assembling beds. But anyway, I did the bed first, and I was like just so happy to finish that bed. It's really good now. I really like the bed. It's a good bed, even though it kind of looks like a hospital bed. It does its purpose. I like it. I've grown pretty fond of it. And also I bought a desk. I bought a big desk to sit by the window. So sit by the wall where I can see the window. I can see the National Assembly building here, which is pretty beautiful, and also the Yuksan building here, which is a beautiful skyscraper. So it's a very nice place right now. I'll show you guys in the room tour. I don't want to spoil everything, but I also assembled like a bookshelf and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of assembling, about 2 days of assembling, but now I am all set. I'm still buying a bit of furniture because some of you ducks have sent me via PayPal some housewarming gifts, some housewarming money, I guess. Thank you for that. Thank you all of you guys. I've received quite an amount, and I just want to say really thanks, because buying furniture was way more expensive than I expected. I needed way more shit than I expected. So you guys have been helping me a lot. So please, just thank you. I just want to say thank you. And yeah, I'm all settled down now, and this is the first piece of content that I'm recording in this house. But please do expect more videos of this house, including a room tour. And also, I'm thinking about putting up a green screen so that I can just shoot, explain videos and DK News here, because this is actually closer to David's house too. So this could be used as a good studio space, but I'll think about that a little later. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun living alone. I'm getting into a good routine now. I'm eating healthy. I was eating healthy too, but I'm managing to cook myself meals actually, which is surprising because I'm a pretty lazy fuck. And after this podcast, I'm getting the internet, which is very, very exciting. And I'm also trying to set up like a home automation system, which I have like Google Home that I got from a Google event. So I'm going to try to use that, which is exciting. If you know anything about home automation, please tell me, let me know, or point me to some good sources. And also, what more is there to say? yeah, I'm just enjoying just being by myself and being able to just have my own space. It's very refreshing. Um, I'm a person that likes to be alone a lot, so I think having this space really is making me really comfortable. And this area is really great because it's in the young hip area of Seoul, and right across from my street there's like a big mall and stuff like that, and right behind my apartment there are so many great restaurants and bars and clubs. I haven't gone to any of them yet because I've been just so busy here, but I think I'll try some tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, it's just a great area to live in. I'm just super happy. The transportation is just amazing. I live 10 seconds away from the metro station, 10 seconds away from the exit. So that's just amazing. I live 10 seconds away from the bike sharing system, which is also amazing. So like, man, I just love this place. I just love this place. I hated it for like the first 3 days because of the girls' hair and shit and cigarette butts coming out all over the place. But now it's just like, man, I love this place. It's just great, and the view is just absolutely amazing. And the best thing about it is, I mentioned it in the Patreon chat earlier. In the morning, my bed is right beside my window, and the window's very very big. And in the morning, the sun wakes me up like at 7 a.m. It's like the sun shines on my face, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, I don't know what that was. But yeah, it's like birds chirping and like, oh, so serene, you know? And you see the view, the mountains and shit like that, and it's like, oh damn, I love this house. That's how I felt this morning. It's just such a great thing to wake up to sunlight. So moral of the story is guys, get a house that's, I don't know if it's the same in all countries. Maybe it's different depending on the latitude you're on, but or longitude is it? I don't know. I'm fucking dumb, but at least in Korea, get a house that's facing south or southeast. Usually, like if your house faces south, like if your windows are facing south, you're gonna get a lot of sunlight, and it's just amazing how that changes your quality of life. I don't think I've ever lived in a house that faces south, but if your house faces the south, that you get the most sunlight. At least in Korea, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but you get, your house gets the most sunlight, and it's usually the most popular houses. And I think it's worth paying a little extra just to get that extra sunlight, because I just feel way more, energized, and also just less depressed. Like, I don't feel depressed here. I feel so happy. I just like look outside and it's like sunlight all over, and it's just happiness. So get a house that gets good sunlight. Sunlight is very important, and it's really making me happy. So all in all, I'm very enjoying my living alone experience so far. I will give you some tips or on living alone maybe in a future video. I think I'll make a few videos on that, because I think a lot of people want to come to Korea and live alone, or get houses. So I'll give you some tips on that in a future video. I did give you some tips in previous podcasts, so if you want to listen to them a little bit, then just go to the previous podcast episode. One last thing. Coupang, this website called Coupang, that's a shit, man. If you're living alone, or if you're in Korea living here, just order shit on Coupang, because like they have the best service, they have the best delivery system in, I would say, the world. They're kind of benchmarking Amazon, but it's like Amazon but better, because Korea is so small, and especially if you live in Seoul, like you're living in the hub, so everything gets delivered in a single day, and not just a single day, but everything gets delivered the next morning. So if you order before midnight, like 90% of the products that you order will be delivered by morning. So it's really great when you're living alone and you want to like, do some grocery shopping. You don't need to go to the supermarket. It just comes to your door fresh at like 7 a.m. It's just great. It's just great. Like if you order before midnight, like that is. And if you order after midnight, it comes like maybe, at 9 a.m. So this shit is like really, really great. And the shipping is all free. So it's just amazing. And there's like systems where I think Amazon has it too, where like every few you can order the same stuff every few months or every month. So like you can, if you buy say a carton of eggs every month, then you can set that to order every single month, so you don't have to care about it, and you get a few % off as a discount. So it's just great. You can buy everything on Coupang, and I'm just amazed. And this video was not sponsored by Coupang. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not getting money from them, but I'm just amazed by the shopping experience. So if you're living in Korea, just Coupang, COUPANG.com. Go search it. And this video was not sponsored. This audio was not sponsored by Coupang. No. And as the outro song, the internet guy's going to come in like 4 minutes. So I'm going to quickly finish off the podcast. Thank you guys once again. But as the outro song, we're going to have Bob the Builder, because I built like 5 pieces of furniture and I'm very proud, and I fucking hate IKEA. So here's Bob the Builder. And guys, once again, thank you for supporting us on Patreon and VIP memberships via YouTube. I will see you guys at the end of the week, hopefully, or maybe early next week. So thank you and have a good day. Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. Scoop, Muck and Dizzy and Rolly too. Lofty and Wendy join the crew. Bob and the gang have so much fun. Working together, they get the job done. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. So Pilchard and Bird, Travis and Spud, playing together like good friends should. Bob the Builder,